Good evening, Speed Gaming, and welcome to week 2 of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. We are in Fad Keys week, and tonight, for your viewing pleasure, we are highlighting Team Go with Scoople, and don't forget to track us with Flip Heel. These two teams tonight are actually invitees of last season. They were both in the Open League and got their chance to move up here into the Invitational League. So these two teams did face off last year. They were division rivals and actually met in the playoffs as a result. So really quite the backstory here. Scoople and Flip Heel both really putting up some great times. So we shall see what we can get out of this one. But we're going to get started in a little bit. So far this season, I believe we actually had game 1 between these two teams earlier today. Vortex of Doom versus Purdy Wong. I believe Vortex took that race, so Team Go does now have 3 points on the board on this season. But we got Divergence early. Flip Heel heading towards the Uncle, checking that tier 1. Unfortunately, not too beneficial. Scoople heading right into Lost Woods. And I am joined by my co-com tonight, Hub. How's it going?
Hey everyone, how you doing? The bus kind of got here late, but that's all right.
Early map of Hyrule Castle, unfortunately not really benefiting us. We do have a bug net as well. And bush crabs giving us lots of money.
Yeah, 20 rupees is an amazing thing to come across very early in the seed. You probably want to farm that as you're going from Lost Woods into South Shore as well, because there's a prize crab there as well. As we get some magic powder in the Thieves' Hideout.
Yeah, and Scoople taking that and just saying, you know what, I'm good. I wonder if he's actually going to follow Flip Heel over this way. Oh, and we did get a Moon Pearl out of Link's house. So, yeah, I think Scoople is going to get some bombs over here at Lake Hylia and make his way over to Sahasrara. And we find out Green Pendant is Ice Palace tonight. We get a Turtle Rock Small and a little bit of money. And Flip says he's done there for now. Going to make his way over to Kakariko probably.
So besides Flip Heel going towards Kakariko now, Scoople decided to pass up on the opportunity to do so. So this could be interesting.
I like the idea. You know, you're gonna do Kakariko eventually. You hope maybe you can get a bottle, maybe you can get a flute, hammer and powder, something to give you a little bit more bang for your buck in the village.
That is true. Helps clean up the routing for Kakariko a little bit more if you can help it.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, with all the items that they gave out for the closet, not gonna help out.
And both runners grabbing the most useless map in the game, unfortunately. Scoople going to continue to put off Kakariko Village, going with our South Shore play here.
Now, I like this play mainly because you have the necessary equipment to do it, bombs. But it's also worth noting that he's probably doing this just to get to that prize crowd, just to farm more rupees, which is a good enough incentive at the very least to come down here before CAC.
Yeah, definitely a worthwhile play.
We are going to see Kakariko Village coming from Flip Hill, so we'll be seeing the checks there. As we see the fun use of using bombs in this room.
Yeah, really nice and effective use there from Scoople. We get a small key to Ice Palace, just a compass, some more bombs, so nice little refill, and a bottle, and the big key to Dark Palace. Okay, so that bottle really is already a great find. Unless Flip finds a bottle here in Kakariko, this does pay returns for Scoople to make an extra check in Kakariko.
Yeah, I agree. Like, he was holding off on Kakariko, and it is starting to look to be in his favor. Meanwhile, we did pull up Lancerin from Flip Hill's side, as well as the Mushroom, so we're going to be probably seeing those checks pretty soon. Or what Flip Hill could do with that Mushroom is to go ahead and save Scum with it and see what he can get with the turn-in from there.
Well, we don't even have to save Scum. We've got Powder as well.
Oh, that's right. Duh. I did mention that at the very start of this race.
And Scoople playing us the song of his people, the Little Buzzers. We got a small key to Mire in the back of the well. And a book. Wow.
Got some nice literacy going in.
Small key to Skullwoods.
As we get the most nerve-wracking sound ever.
I can actually say this seems to be a theme with Team Go. We actually heard this earlier today from Vortex as well. There's something about this team enjoying double beeps.
Well, I guess you could say they got to double time it. They got to. But yeah, making a play that not many people do at this early of a stage, checking out the Agina's cave.
I like it. You were going to pick up the item at the dam. And I think, yeah, it looks like Scoople's going to make at least a little bit of a play into Desert.
Yeah, this is just peek into it, see what the first treasure chest will carry for you, as well as scouting out the torch, as well as the ledge, if Scoople can just get there in one piece.
Yeah, I like the fact he's got that bottle out ready to go.
So it didn't look like there was much to be had in Kakariko Village for the start point besides the mushroom and lantern. And our quick peek, I didn't blink.
That was a big key.
That was we're gonna be needing our boots very soon. Scoople, as tempting as that might be, with all this sand, you cannot build a sand castle in here right now. But our race game, which Flip Hill is knowing blindly, it comes up with another map, unfortunately.
Well, at least in this case, there was a decent... I was about to say, it can't be a worthless map, but it is, because we already know Ice is our green pendant.
That is right, with the new update for Randomizer, all maps now reveal the location of whether they're pendants or crystals.
Now, I'm gonna just point this out. I gotta wonder, why why Scoople did not get the small key on Desert Ledge. Like, I understand, you can't get anything else in Desert, but he did spy a small key on the Desert Ledge.
Probably was thinking a little bit too fast, and wasn't really thinking about it, and just wanted to save and quit. But let's see what we get in our buried chest. We get the mitts.
I like finding a glove this early, that's for sure. Gives us some options.
And that's number one on the checklist of getting our Dark World access, besides going to Agina. And we got
big key for Hera off of that mushroom turn-in.
Yeah, that's pretty good find so far. So it looks like Scoople's going in from the south way to enter Kakariko, but they're going to be cleaning up their Kakariko much, much more smoother, thanks to the fact that they have the bottle to get another additional check-in.
Yeah, that's a nice little piece to work with.
It also helped that they had Shovel, which gave them their gloves, so that's a huge boon already that they're going to get mileage from at this point.
Yeah, and what we could see is, Flip Heel almost make a similar play once he gets that shovel and book combo. But here comes that bottle turn in, the one check we really didn't get to see from Flip Heel.
Oh, small key. Tourist desert. Okay. This makes a lot. Suddenly, it makes a lot of sense now. It all comes together conveniently. As Scoople decides to bomb the entrance to Sick Kid, sealing his fate forever.
That poor child.
I mean, at least Sick Kid gave you a very useful key. Why you gotta bully him?
And that's the rough part, is that's logic now. Like, that is something you could have gotten and
decide to dip into desert early. Yeah.
And it's not a bad play. Like, I completely understand the idea of doing it.
I don't think it's much of a huge time loss, though, when you think about it, as going to desert early, because you already was in Nagina's cave, so you might as well check it out, especially if you had the book. And Flip Heel doing his bombing run on the mini Mordrone cave.
So yes, right now our two teams, don't forget to track us and Go, are both 1 and 2 on the season. Team Go got their first win earlier today. Vortex defeating Purdy Wong, while Don't Forget to Track Us got one of their wins last week during the co-op All Dungeons.
So yeah, some pretty nice plays going on all around between our two runners, for sure. So with the Scoople saving and quitting, heading towards Sanctuary, this is definitely going to be the back of escape right now.
Oh yeah, this is the right idea at this point. This is 3 quick checks. They're available, and we're an item from Dark World, so could be anywhere, honestly, that we have access to at least.
Get 10 arrows, 20 rupees, and some more bombs. Rather unfortunate, but hey, at least you got those 3 checks out the way. I rather to have come up with nothing when doing these checks than to leave those behind and then they have my progression.
Yeah. So Flip Heel heading towards Hyrule Castle now. So I guess we're going to get the front of Hyrule Castle now. And
I think they got the adequate amount of bombs to do it.
Yeah, if you're effective, you can do it in 5. So meanwhile, Scoople is gonna, looks like, give us at least that early mountain play.
I'm gonna check the tree real quick. Also, probably checking Lumberjack as well.
I mean, I like the idea of the Lumberjack check, but were we going for bush grab money and then skipping bush grab money?
I think he's going to do it on the way out, and I just blinked and I did not see what he had or what was there.
That was a shield. I know the joke earlier was that Scoople was going to go for a shield, almost as an affront to Flip Heel. Flip Heel known for not liking shields, ever.
It'll be really hilarious to see, like, Castle Tower get cleared immediately. And then Scoople just going for that shield, but I don't think anyone in their right mind would do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Now Flip Heel down to just 2 bombs. Heel will have to be perfect in this room here.
Looks like he got it with the explosion. I'm gonna hit him through the statues and chest. Speaking of the chest, though, that was the cape.
On the plus side here, this kind of works out. It's a nice piece of knowledge given we might not need it, or like until you find a Chiral Castle key, you still know that it's not required or it's not your logic yet.
Yeah, that is true.
Big yet. I mean, we do know where a small key is, given that desert key.
Well, you said Castle Tower key, right?
Sorry, I meant Hyrule Castle.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we know where those Hyrule Castle keys are, but we got that mirror now inside of Spectacle Rock.
And that's going to be very useful, especially early in the seed. As we see Scoople setting up a bomb jump and nails it. Never mind, I spoke too soon. Was going to save and quit there out of frustration, but chose not to. And takes the walk of shame is what I like to call it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not a terrible idea here. You got the book, you could read a tablet, and Scoople a little light on bombs, but I think is going to be able to reach at least one of the two checks, maybe both of the checks here in Tower of Hera. Actually, this might only be able to have one of them. 4 bombs might not be enough to get both items.
No, it should be. Because you have to activate at the very least the first floor switch twice. And then you can just go down the stairs, but
there's another switch down there to get the caged item.
Well, no, when you activate the switch again, you don't have to bring out the cage item. At least I remember it.
No, you're good.
Hopefully this okay. The Dead Rock decides to play nice today. As we enter in our first dungeon, Tower of Hera. And it's only a piece of heart in the basement. In the cage basement. And we're going to check the we're definitely going to give a check to the other chest here. 20 more rupees. Not ideal.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Flip has a bit of an advantage for when he makes that play, given he already has the Tower of Hera big key.
Yeah, he'll be able to diverge further into the dungeon, but our runners need a weapon to clear it. At the very least, either a hammer or at the very least a sword. Just one or the other. Otherwise, they can't really damage Morty.
So Scoople going over to the Witch's Hut as we get some Eastern Palace from Flip Heel.
And I'm gonna go ahead and pick up their big key. Cash in on that.
I would love to hear Scoople right there and just the reaction to getting the Hera big.
It's probably either a Psy or a Grom. I'll place my bets on the Psy.
Yeah, so in terms of Hera, you can actually reach the upper floors with just the big key and logic. Technically, all it takes is you could actually pick up the pots and get the kills on the beetles with the pots. So use 2 pots, kill 2 beetles, and then drop down and get a 3rd pot to kill the last beetle. That is actually all in logic. So the game does not require you to actually have a true weapon, I believe, for the logic on that one. But Flip Heel continuing to work through Eastern Palace. We did find flippers. So
Yeah.
Flip Heel a little bit low on money, but he'll probably get the rest from one of our bush crabs before then.
Yeah, I was gonna say the prize tab is gonna make this a better incentive to just go ahead and cash in on that so they can do the Zora checks. Flip Hill's coming around to the last part of the Eastern Palace where you're allowed to go into until you need, well, and then you'll need both the big key and bow to get through the rest of this dungeon, and that's only a piece of heart, so that's a save and quit. I'm gonna plan out the next course, most likely to Zora, but we could be completely wrong in that decision, but it makes the most sense right now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we get a scope into the Dark Cross with Scruple. They're gonna check out the Dark Cross chest. They already checked the back of the rest of the back of the escape through the thanks to the gauntlet.
No, Flip did all the front.
Flipped it all the front.
Yeah, and the Dark Cross already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of this from Scoople, so this is new information for him.
For him, okay. Like the way how they went into the sewers, though, I thought they did it already, so I didn't know.
Yeah, no, he for him, order doesn't really matter given having that mirror.
Yeah, mirror that's why mirror is very important early in the seed. It just allows you to just save time going back and forth in areas like that. Very good use of the bomb strap for the early part. Only getting a piece of Flip Heel, only getting a piece of heart from the hobo. So
I mean, a 5th heart.
Yeah.
Would you really pass up a 5th heart this early?
Not entirely, but with it being FAD keys, I probably would try to avoid hearts as much as I can, because more likely than not, I'm going to get the adequate amount of hearts opening all those chests to look for all those keys. But I could be completely wrong here.
And there's a sword for Flip Heel out of the waterfall chest.
I mean, that just makes their ascent going into Tower of Hera a lot more smoother now. Another thing that's going to end up that just ends up biting Scoople in the end.
Well, and I don't know for sure on this one. So Chad's kind of pointing this out. Is the sword going to be a double-edged sword, as it were, for Flip Heel, given that this gives him Aga access? Like, the seed is kind of pointing that way, and is Flip going to be tempted to go for the mountain without a mirror or a hook shot? So it'll be really interesting to see how he approaches it. I think he makes a mountain play, but that remains to be seen. And yeah, as it's pointed out in chat, technically Castle Tower is not yet in logic. Although the Link's house start, and maybe I should just stay quiet sometimes.
Yeah, he does not have the gauntlets yet because he didn't end up digging the dig spot, so this was the next choice.
Oh yeah, no glove means no mountain, so... And that glove being tied behind a shovel, not exactly the most tempting to make your play down to the desert area.
And it's kind of odd because he does, well, no, not does, have the necessary tools to finish Desert Palace at all. We still need Alex, one more thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, a big key would help. And that's the thing, the required items to get through desert, you know, we didn't have a glove, we didn't have a small key. We know the small key is off of Sick Kid. So there's just, you know, there's not a lot driving Flip Heel in that direction. So we're getting a lot of speculation about what might be in Hera, because technically with that sword and
The big key.
yeah, and the big key, we can get to Moldorm.
Well, whatever it is, it either has to be really huge or it just is absolutely nothing at all. And Aga 1 is the logic here to play.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. We don't have a lot of options yet in Dark World even. Unfortunately, without a hook shot or a hammer, there's not a lot we can actually go do. So I'll be curious to see, Flip Heel's still a little low on money to go for Pod, but I'm sure he is aware of where some rupees are in Castle Tower.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't have the mirror either. I was going to say, like, or he could just mirror into the light world and get some of those crab prizes there, but yeah, he doesn't have a way to get back in there afterwards.
Well, he knows, he has the ability to get some rupees there, so he's all good now.
Picking up a few more hearts along the way for added insurance. And that is the sound of Scruple getting his 5th heart. And that is the sound of Scruple making an early mistake on where he wants to go.
Yeah, heading back to Sanctuary, I'm curious what the play is for him. This might be a money grind. Yeah, this is a Houlihan play for Scruple now.
Just got to make sure he lines himself up properly for clipping it. Well, not clipping, but falling into this pit in a certain way that allows him to go into the glitch room. Houlihan.
And as always, of course, if you read that little hint tile up top, you can find out information about past tournament champions. Not that we ever really get to see somebody read it.
Well, yeah, they're speed running, so it's kind of hard to take the moment to read those. But it doesn't hurt when you're doing it at your own leisure. I think that's there for all the randomized Cs that are generated through the site, correct?
Sorry, what was that?
Well, I was saying I'm sure all the names of the winners are all still generated through the randomizer's website, regardless if it is a race or not, right?
Correct.
And I kind of lost count of how many blue balls Aga 1 have fired already. I want to say it's 3.
So here we go into Dark World now for Flip Heel.
We get a flute on the pyramid ledge. That's a huge find.
And that could be the best find for Flip Heel at this point. Yeah, and he's just going. I love this play. Go activate your flute. Go check Sick Kid. He'll get the Desert Small Key before going to Desert. He's going to get Mountain access and a chance to check Spec Rock for that mirror. This really works out nicely for Flip Heel.
And hopefully with that, hopefully that's the intended play here. Because that can, with the mirror, that would at the very least lead them into... Hopefully once they get around to the Village of Outcasts, lock them route into the south part, which would allow them to mirror from Stumpy to get their mitts. And that will definitely open up a lot more for them.
Hopefully Flip remembers to check out Sick Kid real quick before fluting away. Yep, heading right to Sick Kid, so he knows where he's headed.
Scoople now receiving his first sword.
And yep, here goes Flip Heel heading right to Desert Palace area. So we're gonna get to find out, you know, what the value was on that small key. And we'll also find out what that small key was on the Desert Ledge. We've had a lot of speculation that that's probably our Hyrule Castle small at this point. Because if that is, then that means Aga was the play. But there's our boots. Wow.
Suddenly, Flip Heel has a tremendous amount of advantage now with the boots.
Yeah. Depending on when Scoople gets back to Desert, this could really make a difference in the long-term status of this race.
It may not look like it, but transitioning from screen to screen with boots compared to not having boots adds up a lot more than you just originally expect.
Yeah, we kind of like a good metric to always think about for how much boots saves you is, you know, look at the casual boots start, where we expect, you know, a decent escape is about 6 minutes without boots, and then you give somebody boots and we're talking 5:20 or below for good runners. So definitely makes a big difference. And our key was, oh, it was a pod key. So we're still technically not in logic with this Aga play.
Yeah, I fear like at this point, because Scoople already checked out Desert Palace early, they may not feel incentivized to go back in there again with the small key to check the other two chests out.
Yeah, I feel like what Scoople would need is a Desert Big Key to kind of send him back there anytime soon. I could be wrong, but that's just my feeling. You know, knowing the quality of runners we have here, they're going to look for density, and 2 checks in Desert, which you have to go through that cutscene, might not bring him to want to go do that.
Yeah, it's not favorable at all.
Moon Pearl was, yeah, Link's house. We've had that one the whole race, really. And Flip having Aga defeated is going to check out, do a blind check of our lump. Oh, wait, no. We know it's here.
Oh, my goodness.
Flip's going to get a shield.
How many red slashes he's gonna... Oh, okay, never mind. Just completely dodges that.
So on brand for Flip Heel. If you know Flip, he is very much the anti-shield runner. Doesn't matter if it's fighter, fire, or mirror. He hates shields. He will actively avoid them. He will go out of his way to have tickets steal his shields even.
Had to limbo for that one to dodge that shield.
And yes, it really is. Flip just doesn't like shields. There's nothing like real deep about it.
Meanwhile, Scoople's now taking their turn doing the Aga 1 fight.
So here's that big key everybody was asking about, saying, is this a forced double dip of Desert Palace? And it's a forced double dip of Desert Palace.
Oh no!
So what that means is Scoople will have to triple dip Desert. It's really not a great situation.
double dipping a key sanity, not that bad. Triple, you might as well be a wanted criminal at this point.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Man, chat with surgical precision calling that was going to be a desert big key.
Why are you going to jinx our runners like this?
So Flip, though, has that desert big. I wonder if he goes back sooner rather than later at this point. Giving it some thought, though, where he wants to start.
Well, looks like he's going to make their dive to the desert now.
Well, and for Scoople, you know, he's going to get that flute, but does the flute even send him up the mountain or, like, back to desert? Does it send him up the mountain again? You know, where is he going to want to go here? Because there's good argument that he might go to pod at this point and try to do some stuff there.
I feel like in this case, you set yourself dead set on not going to desert until you get the big heal, just like you said. So this has to be a full commitment, and I'm afraid Scooples may end up losing because of it.
Yeah, I will never say that, you know, that kind of stuff too early. You know, it's definitely tons still to go here, but this is an advantage for Flip that just builds. There's just so much he can do and just build a lead with those boots. So, like, Flip Heel is going to be able to go to Hera now and beat Moldorm, and then possibly see him go back down to Desert Palace. And yeah, this could have been a non-Aga seed at this point. We actually have access to everything on the Light World side of things without that flute.
Do we have hammer?
No. But, I mean, all the stuff that, like, they're able to check.
Oh, right. And I didn't see what the check was on that tablet.
It wasn't important.
Okay.
I think it's a compass or a map. Not exactly for text I look at too much.
And now it's Scruple turn to free the bird. Meanwhile, Flip Hill doing an amazing bomb jump and gets a hook shot for his efforts. That is big, because that means now you could just explore the east side of Death Mountain now.
And West Dark World. We have lots of access now at this point.
Lots of access. This lead is just building up and up.
But on the plus side, Scoople heading right back to Desert Palace. This is about the best scenario for him.
Yeah, thankfully enough, he'll be able to, at the very least, catch up a tiny bit. But it all depends on how he handles the rest of the dungeons compared to Flip Heel.
Well, you know, as we've seen, that value from the hook shot is really, really important. We know that is a ton of Dark World access, so I would not be surprised, you know, if Scoople makes a similar play off Death Mountain.
Yeah, Scoop's not getting their boots, so now they don't. Now they have gotten at the very least their start of their boot momentum. Boots momentum. I was gonna say boost momentum for a moment.
I mean, it is kind of a boost.
It really is.
There's another pod small, so we're up to 3 pod smalls early.
Not looking too shabby as far as the pod key count. And Scoofle going directly back into the library. He's gonna end up getting that big key, which is the Desert Palace one, and he's probably not going to be too happy about it.
And we get the Titans mitts on Flip Heel's side, and we also got a 4th pod small. Scoople thinking about it, where to go, and is going to. It looks like this is the lumberjack check for him.
I think one of them.
Oh, Bonk Rocks. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Bonk Rocks. So I was going to say, like, I
no,
know
he did check it earlier.
Yeah,
you're right.
He had to check it earlier because we was joking about that. Gets a little pocket change. I'm going to be on his merry little way.
And Scoople going for Tower of Hera. As we get the big key to Turtle Rock out of Spiral Cave. Yeah, and this actually works out really nicely. It's a really good sign that both of our runners did not go back to Desert Palace. It means they're able to avoid the extra use of the book to get into Desert. So that's definitely going to be a little bit of a time save on both their parts. So really, really good for both of them. You hate to see that cutscene too many times.
Yeah, that is true. Like, the only time you want to dip in there a third time is when you have the ability to do Misery Mire at this point, and anything else is foolhardy or clown routing at that point.
Or at least the ability to go through the mire area. Maybe I can't clear mire, but if I can go to the mire area and get it back into Desert, I feel a little bit better about my choices.
Which in fact Flip Hill could do after they finish doing all the other checks. That's another dungeon that they'll be able to clear, especially now that they can check the mire sheds for more goodies.
That is our Quake medallion on Turtle Rock. So we do know one of the medallions we shall need today.
And there's some ray slashes as Flip Hill picks up a shield. Can't avoid that one, unfortunately.
Yep, no getting around that shield.
He opened the chest and that shield just lashed onto his arm.
He'll be looking for a picket. But he does also get blue mail. That was kind of the major prize out of there. Nice Moldorm fight on Scoople's side, using that dash strat for the rage.
Securing his first dungeon clear at 42 minutes, which is pretty good, to be honest. In all honestly speaking.
And was that Quake on Mire as well as we get the Ice Rod?
I do believe so.
So we only really need a Quake medallion today. Oh, I'm hearing Ether from our tracker, actually.
Oh, okay. Ether. Okay.
Yeah, shout-outs to Mindful Beast helping out with the tracking today. And, hey, that's a hammer.
In the checkerboard cave, no less. This seed is being blown apart wide open.
Yeah, we had a bit of a slow start, but it really is starting to turn around for our runners, able to make a lot more checks. The world's pretty much open to them. You know, we still need plenty for go mode between the keys and the items, but this is really what you want to start finding.
Yeah, I agree. Like, if it's anything, I'd rather last location keys than progression items at this point, if I was in this situation.
Here we go with that desert big chest, just a piece of heart, so nothing too beneficial there. But I imagine we're going to get to see a Land Molus fight on Flip Heel's side. You have the ability to kill it. This is a fully in-logic boss. And we have Ice Rod, which does make that fight a little bit better. Oh, you know what? A lot better. Let's be honest. But I imagine right after this, we'll see Flip Heel head towards Hype Cave and do a west route towards Village of Outcasts.
So, quick question: if I was Flip Hill, well, if you was Flip Hill, and you
If I was
finished
Flip
the dungeon, where would you go to next?
Oh, easy. I'm going to Link's house. And I'm going to go into Hype Cave. Then work west towards Stumpy, Cave 45, Dig Game. Work my way north, probably do the Smiths into Hammer Pegs. Check out all of Village of Outcasts, front of Thieves Town, and then into Skull Woods to check the front of Skull.
Oh, okay.
Is this some scouting for Saturday?
Not necessarily, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be way too tired to be able to run effectively on that day.
So here we go. Flip Heel into that Dark World portal. Scoople into Hookshot Cave.
Yep, following the play as you intended. But then again, this will be the play that you'll do regardless. Like having Hammer right then and there from Misery Mire to be able to get to Hype Cave as well as the west part of the Dark World. It's a no-brainer. The high density check is there. You want to get everything as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to get away with a sub 160 collection rate in this kind of mode. Even sub 170 is really pushing it at times. So Hype Cave really not paying out too much today.
Just a few keys, unfortunately. But, that's always a welcome sight. It could have been worse. It could have been just arrows, rupees, and more bombs.
And Scoople heading into Village of Outcasts, so going a little bit against what we would have thought. He'll be able to check quite a bit here, so it's not a bad play. It's just, unfortunately, he will not have that hammer early. And there's half magic off of Stumpy.
Delicious. Okay, I see now. I was gonna say, I wonder why Scoople passed up Bumper Ledge, and then I realized, oh, he's going to start from King's Tomb first, then go through the process of checking each and every other section with Bumper Ledge, which makes sense. Some sense, at least.
But we will get to see Graveyard Ledge, so I'm really curious to see what we might find on this one. This is a very easy check to isolate. And there's our Quake Medallion.
All right, so this off-the-wall checking has not turned into a state of lunacy, so this is pretty good on Scoople's in at the very least to get that out the way.
Yeah, that's a great find for Scoople. With how many options Flip Heel has, I wonder if, I don't think he misses Graveyard Ledge for a real long time, but I don't see him necessarily rushing that location.
And we get our... Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and we get to check Bumper Cave, which is our bow. He is definitely gonna go towards there to get that.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is, the one thing is, if Flip gets another sword, maybe that sends him more on the interest of Purple Chest instead of Bumper Ledge. Like, I could see the Bumper Ledge play combined with Graveyard Ledge, but if he finishes up Village of Outcasts, maybe he instead goes for Bombos Tablet and Purple Chest instead of Graveyard and Bumper. But we'll have to wait and see as we get our third bottle off the Smiths.
Bottoms up.
And we're also going to get to see the Magic Bat.
Small key in the C-shaped house, which is another Dark Palace small key.
And really, that's the ideal amount of small keys for a pod play. As soon as you get that hammer, like, that's a full clearable pod for these runners.
They do have the big key, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have the big key to pod, so, like, this is perfect.
As a Scoople pulls up a big key, and now it's to Ice Palace.
And everything I said was wrong. Flip Heel immediately going with Purple Chest.
These are some pretty yellow strats, if I have to say so myself. This does kind of orphan the Bombos tablet, but they don't have the Master Sword yet, so they're just looking to probably do this just to get this out the way.
And I think what that'll work towards is, I think Flip might be hoping to find his Swamp Small Key and merge that in. It says, I don't have the sword for it anyway, but when I get my Swamp Small Key, I could just do that check later. And this also kind of helps push him to do Graveyard and Bumper Ledge.
$300 being the prize for the chess game. And I think that's all that the play Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town has to offer from the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, the big find, of course, in our West Ark World really has been that bow.
Hammer was on Checkerboard Cave. So, in this situation, I feel like one of our runners will have to dip into a Dark World dungeon. Well, besides Thieves Town. If it was in my case, if I'm heading towards Skull Woods, I would have done that.
Yeah, like, I think Flip Heel dips Skull, checks out the front of it, probably the middle chest as well, and then works his way to Bumper and Graveyard and King's Tomb. Scoople, I'm not sure where he's gonna go yet. Like, with 5 keys and a bow and flippers, like, for him, logically, he has access to pod. So I'm not sure if he makes the play to Mire area yet, or decides to check out Palace of Darkness.
Well, I don't think he has hit Hype Cave yet.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, he'll do this Hype Cave play quick or really soon, and then after Hype Cave, does he find himself going into, make a play towards pod?
If I was in this situation, I would have done so. Especially after checking that map.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like if Mire area, you know, becomes a little bit back of mind for Scoople right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to make the march over to there soon.
And that's our 6th pod small out of Skull Woods. So we know where all of them are. That is a fully in logic dungeon now.
Funny how that works out. As we get another key and get his tower.
And there's the Dark World portal return for Scoople. I think this is pod for him.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. You know, I don't feel like we have a real clear advantage here. But the longer Scoople waits on this checkerboard play, the more pronounced it becomes. And this is one of those areas that will really benefit Flip Heel, is the ability, you know, he cuts out a dip of Desert Palace, as well as now a dip of Pod. So, like, I know we talk about Boots advantage, and realistically, you know, the 7 or 8 minutes that Flip had those Boots ahead doesn't equate to a ton of time. It is maybe about a minute gained for Flip, but it's these double dips that we're seeing that Scooble's having to take that are going to start making more of a difference later.
Yeah. Does pick up red mail for his troubles. Not sure. Yeah, he's diving in deeper into it. So yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah,
especially if you have the bow.
Yeah, no, this is a full clear the front minus Helma dungeon. Like, you know, there's no reason not to. It's just unfortunate he can't actually beat Helma right now. But I think what we do know is the fact that we know where all 6 small keys are for this dungeon tells us something has to be in here.
Fire Rod?
Fire Rod? Hub, what have you been doing, man?
Hey, I have to channel in my ESP a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Flip gets that bow as well as that Quake medallion. Question is, what does that rod give us right now too much?
Well,
I mean, we can kill Moth. It's not technically in logic yet, just because of the small key situation. And we get the big key to Mire. Oh, maybe that sends Scoople there after this?
yeah, or at the very least, pushes him to check that out, at the very least.
Yeah, I'm almost hoping he gets a Cane of Samaria here as well as kind of an additional, like, little nudge. But, hey, there's our 4th bottle.
I mean, it's red, but it's not a cane, unfortunately. Going to crack open that wall real quick. Going to come back around to do hammer jump. Momentarily, once they get their Master Sword from the Turtle Room. I'm just going to call it Turtle Room. I don't know what it's called anymore.
It's a Turtle Room. That's always what it is.
Oh, okay.
Or at least I would call it that. We're getting Quakefish over on Flip Heel's side for that piece of heart. And I think now he makes the play over to Pod with all 6 smalls and the big and everything else. We do get a map check real quick to confirm that Eastern is a crystal. Another piece of heart for Scoople, giving him the free refill.
At least I don't have to waste the red potion in case he needed it.
So setting up for that hammer jump, gets it, and there we go. And it's a small key to Thieves Town. That's a really nice find, actually, because that means when we do get the Thieves Town big key, at least on Flip Heel side, that's a full in the map of Thieves Town. Thieves Town, you misplaced your dungeon items in the wrong dungeon. We get another small key, this time to Swamp Palace. So there we go. That is quite a bit for that.
Would you think Scoop will go into Swamp though with that small key now in hand?
No, this is a Meyer play for sure from him, because to get back. Okay, I don't know. I honestly like. No, here's the thing. Like, I look at this play and I go, it takes a longer time to get from here to Hype Cave area and Swamp Palace and Bombo's Tablet. Oh, Fire Rod, of course. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Fire Rod. He hasn't touched Skullwood.
Yep.
So.
No, that's true.
But yeah, this was also another good viable play.
I think the only thing again is, unfortunately, I think this might push him into a dip of Swamp. This could turn into Smith Chain into Swamp Palace, just as a let me check it kind of moment.
Have we checked Ped yet?
No. I don't know if we're going to get a read on it. So our pendants we know are Thieves, Ice, and Hera. So
Ped's dead for the most part, if that's the case.
There's definitely some keys that could be there.
Right. Yeah, keys. I keep forgetting.
Item-wise, of course, we could be looking for Ether off of it. Technically, depending on keys that we find still, if we find the second small key to Ice, Samaria could be there. But that's really it. Item-wise, there's not too many options, because we really are getting well-equipped items at this point. So yeah, I think it really is just either Ether Medallion or Arcane of Samaria are the only contenders for an item. Keys is wide open. So this is definitely a good thing for Scoople. It's a dungeon he can full clear, or at least do almost all of in his first trip. Skull Big Chest is really not a big deal, but he'll be able to do the whole front of Skull here. Or the rest of Skull. And there's a small key. Hey, that's our third small key to Skull Woods, and thus Moth is in Logic. Meanwhile, Flip Heel into the back of Palace of Darkness. I really like this kind of play. We've seen a lot of runners kind of do this more often recently is, I'm going to full clear the dungeon. I go Bowlock side. I get done Bowlock side. And I'm right there. Let's just go to Helma. So he goes and takes care of Helma. He'll go back in and do the back on a second trip. This is a really effective use of your time for this dungeon. Now, Scoople working on the Moth. Nice use of that Fire Rod with half magic. And Flip Heel is starting to go to town on the Helmasaur King.
We get an intense kindling coming from Scoople, and now we're seeing Flip Heel just cracking a shell open.
Yeah, and he's still on Fighter Sword, so going with Hammer Strats. And with that red mail, I believe at this point, he feels really comfortable with that. Just getting up in his face.
And
just for 10 arrows.
Just for 10 arrows. Still, that's a crystal. Meanwhile, Scoople's taking the incentive with the book in hand to check it out. And Pet is dead with it being cash money in there. Cash couch money.
And I was about to say, Scoople bucking all expectations here. I thought that might have been a nice Palace play, but it looks like he's changed his mind. Meyer?
Meyer.
It's Meyer. Okay.
And
That's a really good sign.
Yeah, and this will bring him up to speed at the very least, where item progression is, as far as discrepancies at least. Or however you want to pronounce it. I am bad at words today. Meanwhile, Flip Hill doing his hammering up, which is pretty.
Yeah, and this is actually like a little nice piece of knowledge. Flip going, I've got 6 pod smalls. I can hammer yump in here and then still walk out the door. Like,
Save you
he
some time.
has all the keys and doesn't have to double back on this.
The only good dark maze is when you only have to go through it once.
There's that Master Sword for Flip Heel, now heading for the Harmless Hellway, as Scoople is now heading towards Landmolus. So they'll be roughly even on dungeons after this. The only real difference is Scoople or Flip has Pod, while Scoople has Skull.
I feel like Skull Woods is a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit quicker. Working your way through the hedge maze into Palace of Darkness is a little bit slower to do, so not the worst. I mean, Skull is obviously not a very, very fast dungeon. That back portion of Skull Woods does take a little bit of extra effort. Also, Scoople does have some nice equipment for Landmo, although Flip's Landmo fight was actually really nice with that Ice Rod.
We'll see how that turns out for the see how Scoople fares against Lamos 1.
And here's that Bombos tablet check. So this works out kind of, we talked about this earlier about the orphaning of Bombos, and Flip says, I'm going to Swamp anyway. Let's check Bombos tablet now.
And within that tablet, we get from the heavens 20 rupees.
Yeah, not too much. But I think the play here at this point is, looking at our keys, I think we clear up Swamp Palace. That's a really nice dungeon. Hope we get Kane of Samaria here, because I think Flip's going to make a play to Ice Palace after this. Yeah, and here comes that hammer for Scoople.
I can feel that mashing on the Y button from here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's really that's a tough location to have left for a little bit. So I don't call this race anywhere close to over. We're at 3 dungeons apiece. And really, this could work out fine in either direction. We are seeing a little bit of a divergence here, which is really nice for us. We're going to get Ice Palace on Scoople's side while Flip heads into Swamp.
I'd like to argue that going Ice Palace first may be a good idea in this situation.
And I don't disagree with you, because I'm waiting to see where that Swamp Big Key is. Although there's Kane of Samaria. Oh, damn.
Now it's not a good idea.
I mean, it doesn't guarantee it. For all we know, Swamp Big is in Ice Palace, and Scoople finds something huge off of Swamp Big chest. But yeah, that is a huge time save when Flip Heel goes to Ice. Do not underestimate the power of an icebreaker. It really does save significant time for a full clear of the dungeon. So what we're going to see, and Scoople is well versed in Ice Palace Bomb Jump. He is a really quite, has become an excellent runner of NMG. So like this is, normal for him, but it's still a lot of extra time. So Flip Heel is going to full clear Swamp Palace at this point, going with the diver down for the left side.
You can also do this with bombs, but when you have some more cannon, it's not really worth it.
Yeah, no, I definitely love this Samaria strats.
And an excellent Ice Palace bomb jump from Scoople.
Yeah, you see the practice just shine through on that one. And a nifty little piece of tech there from Flip Heel, Samariing through the top block. You don't get to see that one too frequently. Left side giving us a heart container, specifically Sank Heart, as well as 10 arrows. So nothing really on left side. Meanwhile, an Ice Palace, we are in the H room, and Scoople is going to find the big key to Eastern. Wow, okay, so really nice find. He'll be able to do the pod clear and the Eastern finish together now. And I did see that as kind of one of those nice little plays that he could make later of doing those together. So that does at least come to fruition.
I feel like Scoople just made up a lot more, like caught up a lot more with that find.
I don't know if it's a ton because, you know, it does allow him to do those two dungeons together and will save him an individual double dip of pod. But I can't imagine Flip doesn't just rush ice after this. And really, I mean, what are we missing now? So, you know, starting to look at the pieces, we're missing an Ether Medallion. We're missing at least one TR small key. We're missing a GT big. So a few keys here or there. Item-wise, we are just missing Ether. And, you know, we'd like probably a sword. Thieves Town big as well. Thieves Town big key is required for that. We do have to clear all the dungeons. If you're unfamiliar, this is FAD keys. That means it's a faux AD keys. All dungeons is the AD. The keys means it's key sanity. The faux portion of that is because the castle tower small keys are vanilla. And that was a triple on those puffs.
Almost went for another triple and messed it up, but that's okay. He still makes up for it by getting a triple to begin with, to be honest.
Argus just getting a little too close, moving fast. Argus can move, of course, at a slow or a fast pace between his, or with his movements.
Meanwhile, Scoople is going to do his cold stare fight.
And Flip Heel taking down Argus. Nice single cycle on phase 2. Gets a small key to Turtle Rock. So that's that third Turtle Rock small we were looking for.
Pretty sure our runners are going to crisscross each other with the way how they finish their bosses right now.
Yep. I agree. Flip is going to definitely make the play over to Ice at this point. Yep. Meanwhile, Scoople, I think for Scoople, Pod Eastern might be the next play. Just because, you know, there's not any pull. For Flip Heel, this makes perfect sense. He's Flip Heel trying to get his shield stolen. There was nothing else to that little hesitation. He was trying to get his shield taken by that picket. But yeah, nice boss kills by both runners there. Scoople is going to Pod Eastern. I like this play from him. Flip Heel, meanwhile, is going to Ice Palace. So we're not going to get any new information from Flipfield's side, just another dungeon clear. But Shkoopel is going to finish out House of Darkness. We're also going to get a green pendant turn in, I imagine, after clearing Pod and Eastern.
You know, I'm kind of surprised he didn't do it then. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he didn't do it then when he was approaching it.
So this is just saving the mirror transition. For him at this point, there's nothing he gains time-wise on Palace of Darkness. You know, maybe you get silver arrows, but it's for him, I think it's just, you know, this doesn't give me enough of a reason to get that green pendant turn in before I fight Helmasaur.
Right.
And yeah, what we could see here is, you know, Shkoopel is going to do Pod Eastern and then probably go for Swamp Palace, because that's really the only dungeon he has the ability to work through at this moment, besides these two. I would not be surprised, you know, if he makes a potential skip of left side swamp. You know, we were talking, it was mentioned in chat that he could make up the time difference of that Samaria for Icebreaker by skipping left side. And just given how much he, you know, has at that moment, he might say, I've got Samaria, that's, you know, that's my play up Death Mountain. And he could say, let me at least do Argus, and he'll get that small key for Turtle Rock in the back and go, do I need to do left side? I have almost all of Turtle Rock. So yeah, I think we might see Shkoopel skip left side. I think it's a reasonable skip on his side at this point.
Or else would he be able to make up even more time, or at the very least pull ahead? Because actually, he nah, I can't make. Yeah, I can't think of anything else besides skipping left side swamp, like you just said. So,
well, and realistically, you know, Shkoopel is taking the dungeon count lead here at 5. Only a little bit ahead of Shkoopel on his 5th dungeon, so we're still really close. Ice Palace definitely a bit longer of a clear versus the pod finish. And, you know, Shkoopel's going to have a quick Eastern right after this. But I would not be surprised to see the same from Flip with the Eastern play before possibly going back for Skull Woods. But I think, you know, where we'll see, you know, the next opportunity we have to find out kind of where they stack up is entering Turtle Rock. Because I think for both runners, it's clear the dungeons you can. So we see Eastern Palace and Swamp Palace from Shkoopel. We'll see Eastern and Skull from Flip Heel. And then they'll probably meet in Turtle Rock. So just $20 there in the big chest. Meanwhile, Flip Hill is coming to Eastern Palace. So really, they're just, you know, clearing each other's checks on this one. I imagine we see green pendant turn in from both of them after this.
I'll be right back. I need to answer the door.
No problem. So Shkoopel working through the back, getting some nice arrow drops. And here we go on Armos. For just a compass, so no real payout on these plays. You know, Shkoopel, I think, waiting a little longer to hope to find the Swamp Big. before going into Swamp Palace for another full clearable dungeon, but doesn't really get anything out of it. So that was definitely one of the ways he could have made up extra time. But we will get to see that green pendant turn in now. And he does have the flute out for afterwards. Yeah, and just another compass, this time for Desert Palace. We are finding compasses. So Scoople heading towards Swamp as Flip Heel enters the Armos fight. Firing one extra arrow there, so the quick kill is out, but still a nice Armos on Flip Heel's side. So we are back to tied up on our dungeons, 6 apiece. The one difference is Scoople does have Swamp Palace to do, while Flip Heel has to go for that Skull Woods next. Now, the one advantage I would say, I think Scoople is making up time, and it looks like they're really, really close as Scoople's about to head into Swamp Palace. The one thing that he has to, that we can see here is Flip Heel has made more checks. So, Scoople is going to have to start into the mentality of what does he skip to start making up time, whereas Flip Heel is kind of been methodically full clearing the game and hasn't been punished for it in the fact that he's just been finding the progression each step. So he's been able to go and do these single dips or minimal dips into the dungeons at each time. So, but Flip Heel now working towards Skull Woods, as Scoople is into going through Swamp Palace.
All right, I have a turn. Thank you very much for waiting. Well, don't wait for me. We're in a speedrun situation.
I don't think they waited. They decided to jump into another dungeon.
Wow.
Right?
I mean, it's fine. They got to aim for a personal best at this point.
Got to aim for those lovely points as part of the Link to the Past Randomizer League.
Speaking of, while we're crisscrossing between dungeons, do check out the schedule if you are interested into any more of these intense matches that we're having here today, or even tomorrow, or even throughout the week or so. Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 4 will be going on for a few more weeks. Not a few more weeks, but like for quite a bit, because we still got to do our grouping stages as well as our tournament brackets, both in open and in invitational sections. Can't skip out on all that goodness.
Yeah, we're into week 2 of 7 of our regular season so far, and we've still got 5 more weeks after this of regular season, and then the playoffs, where both of our invitational and open leagues will have 16 teams battling it out for supremacy. So yeah, I think after this, both of our runners going to have 3 Turtle Rock small keys. I don't see any reason you don't rush Turtle Rock at this point and skip Lava Chest. We are going to get that ped check as well from Flip Heel. This is about the best opportunity you're going to have, so no surprise there. Finds out it's just couch cash. We get the save and quit. I think this is to the mountain.
Hopefully where they can find another sword. even if it is in Turtle Rock.
So yeah, there's that third TR small for Scoople. And yeah, this should just be a run, go, and do mountain. The only thing up on the mountain we still also have left, of course, is we never got to see Spike Cave. But I think at this point, both of our runners are kind of intending, I'm going to clear Turtle Rock, I'll beat Trinex, skip Lava Chest, and hope, I'll hit Spike Cave afterwards.
Scoople just realizing that they can just quickly check the Bombos tablet.
Yeah, good remembering on that one. You don't want to miss out on this. Even, it's just another check.
But the thing is, it's already there. You're already there.
Yeah, and how many skips is he willing to make? I think, for Scoople at this point, I think he's had a decent run. Definitely making some skips that have not bit him at all. But also on his mind is like the triple dip of Desert, the double dip of Pod, which aren't huge plays, but they're all gonna, leave things on his mind because he also didn't do Smith Chain. These are all little things that he hasn't had to do yet and has helped him make up time. Like, he's not far behind Flip right now. So this is best case for him.
Yeah, I feel like if he ends up if both of our runners find what they need in Turtle Rock, Scoop will definitely have a shot into not only catching up, but perhaps be able to pass up Flip Hill at this point.
Yeah, and like neither of these runners are slouches by any imagination. These are two great runners. But and there's our Tempered Sword.
Yeah,
but, I think even Flip will tell you, like, Scoople's execution game, just from that standpoint, is very dangerous. And, the more lead he can have going into these later portions is only going to benefit him more.
Excellent use of hitting that switch just in time before the Chain Chomp got in contact with them, using those iframes to slip through them. That was a little bit too close for comfort, even to my liking.
And, just kind of going back to the NMG side of things, thinking, okay, I'm at low arrows, Flip only at 5 after Eastern, able to get some more arrows there. So just, keeping these things in mind, these little checks, they save you time later. We are skipping Lava Chest, of course. Nobody wants to do Lava Chest.
A few people do, but we don't talk about those people. Though, how much would it suck for Lava Chest to have our Ether?
Well, and we've definitely seen some crazy value this week. Across the board, all these little orphan checks. We didn't get a chance to check Hera's basement. We didn't get to check the Swamp Palace big chest. We're going to skip Lava Chest. These are all checks that runners across the board will tell you how much they are terrible and how much they've all been burned by them this week and in other races. These are not the ones you want to have to skip. You hope you can full clear a dungeon first time, and the game just will never give that to you. And yeah, as Ike here points out in chat, game 1 between these two teams actually did have a required medallion inside of Lava Chest that led to a book in Mire for a GT big key off of the Bombos tablet.
Good lord, that's disgusting.
So this is definitely one of those plays where you feel bad that it happens, where you have to skip and you just hope it doesn't burn you. This is rando.
Yep, nothing is guaranteed. Welcome to Rando. Please leave your expectations at the door as you get pelted with every other wild like chest that you could possibly imagine being your progression besides density.
Yeah, and honestly, we just haven't found anything here. You know, we're getting... we got a sword, which is great, but nothing really major. There's our last TR key, of course.
Oh no.
I mean, you got to go back at this point. I don't see a scenario. Oh.
Okay, never mind.
Nope. I think that's still a skip.
That's a skip. Unless Ganon's big key is in that lava chest, we're
in GT mode.
Locked. We're locked in GT mode. That is a very wild laser bridge. Like, could you calm down, please?
Right. Silver's and an ether medallion is just amazing. This is like, you know, you just go with this. And what are we missing? We're missing 2 big keys. Thieves and GT. Guess what? You know where they can be?
In GT?
They can both be in GT. So Flip's not going back. I don't think he even checks Spike Cave at this point. I think he's rushing Mire, and as is being pointed out in chat, how much Mire do you do? Are you doing cutscene? Are you doing, you know, left side of the dungeon? What is your willingness to go do all of Mire right now?
I would play it as if I'm in go mode, I'll be honest.
And that's a totally valid play. Let's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that idea as Flip Heel clears out Turtle Rock, mirrors, and yep, this is the play to Mire for Flip Heel. And Scoople's making pretty much the same call here, saying, I don't have any desire to go do Lava Chest. Let's go.
Yeah, the only time we switch off of go mode at this point is when Big Key is not in the desired areas at this point.
And that's the thing. These 2 big keys can really be anywhere. That's, you know, the fortunate, unfortunate side of this situation. They could lock each other. Like GT could have Thieves Big, which has GT Big. So we really have no idea. And yep, okay, so Flip is heading the left side first. So I think this could be a full clear on his end. We're gonna at least get torches here. I don't know if we get cutscene though. Okay, we are not getting cutscene. So we're gonna get everything but cutscene, I think, at this rate from Flip Heel.
Excellent item dash.
Yeah, really nice. There's our second Ice Palace small key as well. And nice rail clip.
Just zipping through this dungeon. With Scoople not too far behind, I feel like Flip Heel has every right to be moving in this rate as fast as he can because, oh, well, there's our big key to Ganon's tower.
Oh, man. Okay, so there is one of the big keys we needed. We are just a Thieves Town big key away from go mode. And with that, we know Scoople does at least need to do that big chest.
So it looks like Scoople is going to follow suit.
Yeah, we're at least going to get to see the Torch's chest here. And I think we might get an identical route. I don't think Scoople does cutscene, as we are getting spooky action set up from Flip Heel for the basement.
He's doing cutscene. Oh, wow.
Okay.
This is really bold.
I mean, if this is Thieves Town Big Chest, I have to say this is, you know, this might seal it as a win for Scoople. If it's not, I don't want to say it's over, but it definitely does give a firm advantage to Flip Heel right now. Meanwhile, Flip Heel entering Vitreous with the silver arrows. Guess what? Fiddy doesn't like silver arrows. They just destroy him.
Have you had silver arrows in your eyes? Those are really painful.
I've had a lot in my eyes. Not silver arrows, though. And it's just a compass in our cutscene chest for Hera. So that is just a time loss, unfortunately, for Scoople right now. So at this point, that is 7 crystals for Flip Heel, as well as a GT big key. And 3 small keys. Flip Heel can do all of GT. And I guess the question is, does one of our 27 checks in Ganon's Tower have the Thieves Town big key?
I don't like to think it'll be... With it being key sanity, maybe. But...
Well, and, you know, I know we don't have a big key guessing game at this point, but, you know, almost a 0 to 27, 1 to 27 being the 27 checks in GT, and 0 being the it's not in GT. You know, is I think what we're kind of in.
I want to say it's a 0.
You want to say it's still outside?
Yeah.
I just don't know if we have enough left for it to be outside.
Well, they haven't checked Spike Cave.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm writing on my bet on.
So, and that's the thing. What do we have outside of GT? We've got Lava Chest, Spike Cave, Swamp Big, Skull Big. Am I missing anything?
Oh, I think that's it.
But we are going to get to see Pyramid Fairy here on Flip Heel's side. 10 arrows and just a heart container. So it is not there. And Flip Heel almost saving and quitting. That wouldn't have helped him. He would have been on the pyramid.
Yeah, he'll be right. It would be a little bit silly to do that in the Dark World right now.
So yeah, at this point, like, odds are GT. And I think I like the play now for Flip saying, let's just go there. I think you have to play this as it's there. I guess the only question is, how thorough are you in the basement?
In this case, if I had to look for one more big key, I'll be very thorough.
Yeah, I think you can't skip.
You skipped up a lot of things you cannot skip anymore in GT.
Well, and for Flip Heel, like, he has so little left. His checks at this point are a Terra basement he can't visit, a lava chest he skipped, a swamp big he can't check, and a skull big he can't check. Like, that's it. Like, I don't think there's anything else he hasn't done yet. Scoople's got a lot extra. He's had to make some skips to keep this as close as it is. Mainly Smith Chain is the big one. So like Smith, Hammer Pegs, and Purple Chest are kind of huge for him. And we'll see if he actually does the Big Bomb.
If he doesn't do the Big Bomb, he'll be right on Flip Heel's heels.
Yeah, and that'll be like, that kind of works out for Scoople here, is Flip Heel doing the Big Bomb, and yeah, Scoople skipping Big Bomb. So at this point, you know, Scoople, the time Scoople put into cutscene and Mire was absorbed by Flip doing Big Bomb for nothing. So the skips Scoople has made have really kept him close in this race throughout.
First chest, 10 bombs. Second chest was 20 rupees.
And yeah, it's, you know, it's a very interesting race here in the fact that Flip Heel had his item finds work out very nicely for him. And what is just keeping it close is Flip Heel's just been very thorough. Nice Samaria block kicks. And here we go with the last 4 checks on the right side. And it's not on the right side.
That's 6 chests so far.
And can I just say that was a swaggy silver arrow shot to kill that Lionel. So we're 7 checks into GT so far. Still no big key to Thieves Town. Scoople also going right side. That is a big key too.
That is Thieves Town.
Hey, that was number 8.
Wow.
So our 8th check in GT, giving us go mode.
It's kind of funny. You're looking for a big key, but it's not getting his big key.
So really, Flip Heel does have a slight advantage at this moment in time. So this is just going to come down to, you know, they have identical equipment at this point. I think both of our runners are on red mail, tempered sword, and silver arrows. This is ideal for both of them. And yeah, this is a good margin. I mean, Flip Heel entering the gauntlet at about 140.56. So this will probably be, this could be about, and it's only going to grow a little bit. Scoople going full right side.
That is really interesting. And
yeah, this might be the dagger in a sense. Because this is going to be a lot of extra time Scoople is investing.
Just to get onto the other side. I feel, in my personal opinion, if you're doing right side and you don't come across anything, I would have... Wow. Oh, okay.
Well, there's our... I think that's our logical cutscene chest is now available.
But yeah, I feel like it doesn't... It takes up way too much time doing it through the right side, going all the way through here. If we get a Swamp Palace big key, which we don't really need.
Yeah, that's a big tease for Scoople. You know, I think that you see that and you're like, oh, this is great. I skipped all of left side. You know, I made a play, and then it's a swamp, and you're like, yeah, no.
Does make clean work of Armos, too.
Yeah, nice Armos kill with those silvers. And we are getting to check those chests. Heart container. And another heart container. Apparently, Ice Armos just sharing the love.
Flip Heel taking an unfortunate fall. Might be a good idea to wait, but yeah, should have waited.
Or exited the room to reset it.
What? Yeah, I was gonna. Well, no, they had enough time to exit the room because I was gonna say if they start exiting the mid transition, oh lord, getting the door slammed on your face not once but twice. That's kind of. I feel a little infuriated after that.
Yeah, that door was really kind of mock and flip there.
Meanwhile, Scoople is now making his way towards the climb to Guinness Tower.
So there we go. Flip taking down Moldorm 2, waiting patiently for that chest. Nice timing on that hook shot right as the chest appeared. And yeah, that gauntlet entering time was about 3 minutes difference, I think. So
Yeah,
that would be a lot of time for Scoople to be able to make up in this situation.
Yeah, it'll be Flip Hill's race to lose if they end up messing up on the Ganon's fight. Got a triple at one point, double on the second one. And double to seal the deal for Aga 2. As Scoople heads up to the second part of the climb, Flip Hill is now about to engage into the Ganon boss fight.
Nope.
All dungeons.
I hope he doesn't.
Right. I forgot. They haven't cleared all the dungeons yet because Thieves Town still needs to be finished. Duh. I completely forgot about Thieves Town's existence because usually that'll be like one of the few dungeons to clear in the first place.
Yeah, usually you get that one a lot sooner. Surprising when that big key evades us for so long.
In Ganon's big tower. Good grief.
So yeah, I see a lot of talk about, what's the difference kind of in this race. There's a few factors. So Flip did have the boots about 7 minutes earlier. I think that kind of is even. The flute is, of course, a big one. But, what's kept this race close is, as close as it is even, is just Scoople has made a lot of skips along the way that have just worked out for him. Whereas Flip Heel has almost full cleared the game up to that point. The only skip he really has made that he could have done was the TR Big. Or the TR Big Key Chest. So, yeah, Flip Heel will have a much higher CR. And, it's just some of those checks that he was able to do where he didn't go to desert until he had the small key. Went up the mountain with the sword the first time. Those kinds of plays are really making the difference.
Scoople bonking over the pit hole in swag fashion.
And Flip Heel really almost got that blind cell chest. It's really hard to skip that one sometimes.
Just force of habit, it feels like you're just already doing the dungeon. You just forgot you're in go mode, going back into these dungeons again.
And actually, yeah, Chad is bringing this up. Scoople's extra checks in GT kind of negate some of that check advantage or that check numbers. So, yeah, they're right on that. Flip Heel was able to get that GT or that final big key in GT a lot sooner in the check count. So, that difference kind of melts away. But there is the last dungeon clear for Flip Heel, taking down Blind nicely as Scoople is going through. Very nice dash up the hellway. And also, nice little knowledge from our runners, realizing I have a small key, I can skip the one in the hallway.
Oh yeah, that's right. Since they're in go mode, they don't have to get to the big chest.
And yeah, so at this point, we did see a save and quit from Flip Heel. Reason there is you actually don't have to do, unless you really, really, really need a full health for Ganon, you can easily just save and quit and get put on the pyramid because you got Mirror, you did Aga, so works out just fine. Flip Heel on to phase 3.
Ganon playing nice with his teleports today.
Gonna wait for that position. Yep, setting up for that triple to finish this fight. 2 and 3. Very nice finish there from Flip Heel. All that's left is crossing that bridge.
Get your GGs out for Flip Heel as he crosses the bridge with a time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 3 seconds.
GG's to Flip Heel and team, don't forget to track us. Meanwhile, Scoople working through his blind fight. Nicely done.
Cleans it up in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, it's always great watching high execution runners just absolutely wreck that blind fight on script. So we're going to get that same save and quit from Scoople here into the Ganon fight. He will be dropping just momentarily, as we are also joined by Flip Heel. GG, we are going to try to finish out Scoople's side of the race real quick. And nice one cycle there for phase 1 into phase 2. And yeah, Scoople is going to town on Ganon here. I think we're going to get that 1-1. Yeah, really nice 1-1 there from Scoople.
Amazing. Good grief, this is scary.
So already into phase 3.
Oh, that's a triple right there. Or it would have been, but that's fine.
I mean, still an excellent Ganon fight there to close it out. I mean, that was really nicely done for Scoople. All that's left is our bridge cross. So get those GGs in chat for Scoople, who is about to cross the bridge as well and finish out the rest of this race. Scoople finishing second overall with a 1:52.07. GGs to Scoople. And of course, welcome once again, Flip Heel. GG.
GG.
Yeah, Scoople opting out to not do an interview because he got to get some sleep, which is understandable. This has been a pretty hectic week lately.
Yeah. So I guess, Flip, initial thoughts on the seed. I know it's kind of the cliche question, but let's start there.
Yeah, so I don't know, the beginning of the seed, I definitely got, I don't want to say lucky, but a little lucky, because I did Dam to Ice Rod Cave. I was farming money for Zora, but then as I was like getting to Ice Rod Cave, I was like, this is kind of dumb. I don't really have boots and it's slow. So I didn't really know if I want to go to Eastern or Desert, because they both like seemed, I don't know. Like I didn't, they both kind of suck. Like one more item would have made them better. So I was like, let's just do Run of Escape and decide what to do there. And then got a little lucky with the sequence of events there. I mean, found the flippers when I went to Eastern. And then yeah, when I finally got the sword and did Aga, which wasn't in logic, but I was like, why not? Got the flute, and then it just pieced together the logic from there, and yeah, those boots, I got those stupid early, I'm gonna guess.
So the boots time difference honestly was about, I think Vortex mentioned it earlier in chat, was about 7 or 8 minutes.
Oh, okay, not
So,
bad. I didn't get them too
Yeah,
much.
not as bad
Okay.
as you would have thought. If you want to, I don't know how much you and Scoopel got to talk after the race. Your plays definitely worked out sequentially better. You getting into desert when you did definitely helped because you went in with the small key. Scoopel did not have the small key his first trip. Your first trip to Hera, you had the sword and the big key. Scoopel did not. So there was definitely some nice little pieces that helped you there. The reason this race is as close as it is, honestly, is Scoopel made some nice skips along the way that helped keep this one, super close. I think you did left side swamp, which kind of balanced out with him doing ice palace before swamp, as well as he skipped the whole smith chain.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because so I figured he was going to skip left side swamp, and I was also thinking, if he went ice, because ice looks better, but if you get Samaria in swamp, which I did, that's what I thought, it would kind of even out. And then I felt kind of bad about Pyramid Fairy, but I was just like, it was a little quicker since I had the portal. Like if I didn't have the portal, I think I would have just rushed GT there, but I just thought the option, I had so much cleared already because I did like almost all the overworld pretty early on, so I was just like, if that's there, that'd be great, but that felt kind of bad.
Yeah, and well, that Pyramid Fairy play honestly kind of balanced with Scoopel doing cutscene Meyer.
Yeah, he ended up doing cutscene Meyer for. Well, we thought he wasn't gonna do it for a moment. Thought he was gonna follow suit as just the same way as you did, Misery Meyer, but he ended up taking the cutscene chest.
Oh yeah, that was another reason. Yeah, because I skipped cutscenes because I was like, I only had 2 of the small keys, and then I think the big bomb's still in logic with 0 keys because you can get to the boss anyway. So
yeah.
Also, I never found the Hyrule Castle small, so I think our first bow is actually the one on Laser Bridge, which is kind of funny. Or did he find it?
I don't think we saw it, honestly. You're right. Actually, you did more checks overall. The only area where we saw some extra information from Scoopel was in GT. Scoopel cleared all of right side.
So did he go full right?
He went full right. So we did get to see Bob, Big Chest, and Ice Armos.
Also, it was really funny because our teammates played earlier today, and they also had a key on Laser Bridge, and that one was actually really important for chess.
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna say, was there any thought about going back for it after what happened in the afternoon race?
No, after I told my teammates not to do that, if I did that, they would give me so much flack.
I do have to, of course, point out we loved your effort to get rid of that shield.
Yeah, usually I give it a couple more attempts, but I was like, yeah, let's just do one here.
Yeah, I mean, it very much appreciated you having some fun with that. We do get to see Scoopel's collection rate of 173 and Flip Heal with 174. So, yeah, it looks like the differences early in the seed of extra checks on your end kind of balanced out with Scoopel's extra couple of checks in GT. So, pretty much even there.
I do think. Well, I got no questions to really ask, but unless y'all have some closing comments about this seed particularly.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I guess like I said, it was fun and weird for me because, like I said, I sequence broke, which paid out huge, but it was pretty cool, like piecing the logic together. Like, finding all the pieces like the mirror and the glove into the mirror into like the mitts and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the other piece we did note, if you watch this back, the other thing that kind of gave you an early advantage, besides the flute kind of sending you up the mountain, was you got hammer quite a bit earlier as well. You rushed that Meyer area check. Scoople waited quite a bit longer.
Oh, well, he also... when did you get the flute? Because I feel like I got the flute really early with the Aga.
You actually both did Aga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in a non-Aga seed, you both did Aga.
It seemed like it was it was a smart thing to do, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you both made, you both did Fighter Sword Aga Tower out of logic. So no real-time gain or loss in terms of, when you did it. It just, what it did for you was send you up the mountain when you hadn't done it. Scoople did make the mountain play a lot earlier, because he did get that first glove.
But yeah, other than the single dip of pod, which is like unheard of in Fad Keys, thanks for the comms, the tracking, the restream.
Yeah,
really appreciate it. GG's the Scoople. Sorry, it's late. He had to go to bed, but
yeah, GG's. Thank you very much for giving us a fantastic race. Do give our runners a follow in their respective channels for their fantastic performance today. Do also give following to the people in the back who's been working the levers and making sure this stream was made possible for you all to see today. Our trackers today, as well as our restreamer. And give a fellow commentator follow to my fellow commentator. I'm saying fellow commentator a little bit too much, despite me. I have to race you Saturday.
Ooh, baby.
But yeah, if you are interested into seeing more speed running mayhem for Link to the Past Randomizer League, we do have a few more matches today. Actually, one of them should be happening right now at 10 o'clock 10. So you got that going. Waffle House versus Magic Galactic. Am I saying that?
Yeah, right now, just started over on SpeedGaming 6. We do have Magliacci versus Waffle House Drive-Thru. We got Moogle Charm versus Demo there. And then late tonight on this channel in just over an hour, or just under an hour, we have Did You Check Your Boot versus the Sexy Ganons. We got Tam versus Fan. Once again, that'll be here on Speed Gaming at 11:25. So those are our last. Those are our last two races tonight. But yeah, Speed Gaming 1 through 6. We are having races pretty much daily here. So if you are not getting enough Link to the Past randomizer action, you aren't watching these channels. So be sure to check in, be sure to watch them, and you will see amazing content pretty much all the time.
And with that said, that does it for today, for this stream, for this race between Scoople and Flip Hill of the Go team, as well as the Don't Forget to Track Us team. We hope you all enjoyed the night. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next race.